Hello and happy Sunday. I am here to ask you, what in the bleep is going on right now? One moment. I'm a continual one moment lately. There's no one here anyway, so it's quite all right. Hello, everyone, and happy Sunday, or happy whatever day it is that you're watching this. My chair and my skirt for not wanting to play nice in the sandbox together. So I think I'm done shuffling around now. So, hello, and welcome. This is the Tina. This is the Tina, and I am the news that didn't make the news. Not me, but in particular, I'm not sure if I can explain what's going on, but as usual, I'm going to try. I'm going to say hello and welcome to you. And let's just see what happens here today. That's a little game that I like to play lately. What's going to happen here today? In the last video, I had talked about the generated matrix 3D ley line component that keeps everyone in a kind of stasis, dumbed down from what they may be feeling, thinking, or experiencing, and that matrix ley line keeps us in a constant thread of the message they would like us to hear instead of our actual own true self, true soul connection, higher self, the whole 9 yards. So let's see what happens here today. The matrix, whenever I made the last video, I think it was 4 or 5 days ago, I saw the matrix get unplugged from the wall. Now, I'm sure the technology is way more advanced than having an actual plug in the wall. Guys, I'm sure you know that as well. However, I saw it be unplugged, and what I want you to know about the unplugging is this. I use this example a lot because it's easy for people to understand. In the world that we live in, when it gets hot, a lot of times we use a fan. So we sleep with the fan all summer long and halfway through the fall. And then we get, literally, the body gets addicted to the vibration of the fan. It doesn't know what to do without the fan. So I've dated a few people that had this issue, and I've known other people as well with this issue. So your body gets used to a certain electric frequency and also like an electric hum from your appliances, electronics, or whatever. So when you sleep with the fan on for multiple months and then you go to sleep without the fan, a lot of people can't sleep without that noise or that vibration. So if we have ley lines plugged into a 3D manipulation system, which we all know we do, for I'm not sure how long, but I'm going to guess thousands of years, right? And all of a sudden that becomes unplugged. What do you think is going to actually happen to people? Now, if you're thinking, oh, well, their higher self will come through, or they'll be in connection with their soul, or they'll no longer be magnetized to the negative message running through the ley lines. All of those things are, of course, true, but that's why I talk about the example of sleeping with the fan for a multitude of months, right? Because it's something that we're used to. Not only are we used to it, unlike a fan, not everybody uses a fan, right? Some people grew up in a household with central air. Not me, bro. So seriously, not everyone knows what that experience is like. Some people experience it in different ways. Some people, I've known a multitude of people that cannot sleep unless the television is running. So my point is, we get used to electricity, we get used to a certain vibration or a certain frequency, and then to sleep without it becomes an issue. So think about something that's been running through the grid for thousands and thousands of years and having that unplugged. So you are going to connect easier to your higher self, your soul, all of that. And a few people that I know that resonate above the 3D the majority of the time, all noticed a really calming, easing, cellular relaxation, if you will, when this got unplugged. However, I'm here to tell you that is definitely not what everyone is experiencing. Now, unlike the fan scenario, where maybe not everyone has slept with the fan or the TV all their life, all of us are very used to this generated frequency, that low frequency hum that comes through the grid with not only vibration, but also messages attached to it as well. So when you no longer have that, you have people having withdrawal, but the thing is, they don't actually understand what they're having withdrawal from. So that's going to be a little bit scary on a multitude of levels for many, many people. And I can tell you what I've noticed in the last couple of days. I honestly don't remember. Wait, I do remember, because I remember saying in the video, hey, it's August 31st, I think. So August 31st was my last video. In that August 31st video, I said that I saw the matrix being unplugged, meaning that that generated low frequency hum is now no longer running through the ley lines. So how are you feeling is my question. How are you doing with this not being on anymore? A girlfriend of mine who lives pretty close to me, who did not watch the last video, said to me, when I got to her house a couple days ago, she said, but this is going to sound really strange. I feel like something was unplugged. I feel really calm and really peaceful and really at ease, almost like something man-made that was harmful was turned off. And I said, you didn't watch my last video, did you? Because she normally watches every video. In fact, watches most of them live. But she noticed, and a couple other people noticed as well, that do not watch my videos. Most people that I know in my personal real life don't watch my videos. But people are definitely noticing. So in my 3D reality, here are some observations that I've made since this has been unplugged. I've had issues with not a neighbor in my building, but my neighbor in the building next to me for several months. Yeah, so it's been interesting. Luckily, her lease is up in 3 weeks. I'm going to try to keep this positive as always, but I did end up calling the police this morning, and one neighbor was hanging out the window complaining about the downstairs neighbor. The lady on the other side of the 2-lane road was talking to me while I was talking to cops, saying, did you call the police on Jessica? For the love of God, I just simply can't take it anymore. I don't even want my kids playing in the yard. So I've put up with a lot from this neighbor. I have called ambulances for her. I've run to the store and got her stuff. I've taken her swimming. I've done many things. But lately, she's not in a spot, basically, where she can even carry on a conversation. So what really sent me over the edge this morning, as I was in the kitchen very calmly in a Zen-like fashion, doing my dishes. My kitchen is right across the yard from her kitchen window, right? Or kind of diagonal, but either way, I'm in my Zen-like space doing my dishes, and all of a sudden there's shit flying out her windows. I kid you not. The drain, the dish soap, the towels, dishes, coffee mugs, and there was 2 cars. This was kind of bizarre. On a side note, there are 2 cars that are identical, and cars are a symbol and spirituality for the body. So we have two cars that are facing each other, identical cars, one that lived there, one that did not. And she was throwing dishes and throwing all these things out the window, and they were going in between the two cars. Like I said, icing on the cake, straw that broke the camel's back, however you want to put it. Today, I finally had enough and I called the cops, who would not actually speak to her because they said, and I quote, "You need to call Miss Hammond when the incident is actually occurring." And I said, "I did call when the incident was occurring. It's just that you didn't get here while it was still occurring." So anyway, that's how my day started. So the unplugging of the matrix, while very calming to people that are in a multi-dimensional state, meaning 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 22, wherever you're at right now, are handling it very well. Even to us, it is a cellular disruption. Because unlike the example of the fan on the window, some of us did grow up with central air and don't know what that's like. But the grid has been running this for so long that even if you're a newborn or someone that's a kid right now, it's something that's going to be that the noise, the vibration, the message they were sending through that grid is going to be something that is part of your cellular makeup because it's been going on for so long. It will actually be passed through lineages and passed through bloodlines. So I wanted to see how you guys are feeling and how you're dealing with it. So the other exciting thing, and you can tell how boring and how meditative my life is when I tell you that what a crazy day is like for me. So I started out with the neighbor being like, I forget the guy's name, the French chef from Sesame Street, and he used to just throw all his utensils around. If you remember that, that's basically what my neighbor was doing, only there was profanity coming out of her mouth instead of German gibberish. But anyway, so then I get on the road. People are not stopping at red lights or stop signs. And then I get into traffic. It's 65 miles an hour. All three lanes are going 50. Normally, people are going 50, people are going 80. And anyone that's trying to remain close enough to the speed limit to not get a ticket is shit out of luck. You've got no choice. You can go turtle, or you can drive like Magnum PI. So this is really affecting people. The other thing I noticed on the road is it's constant horn. So had I done something to piss someone off, I actually wouldn't even know it because so many people are blowing their horns at everyone that you don't even know who's blowing whose horn at which person and for what reason. Maybe that doesn't get on your nerves like it does mine. But somehow, even though I've never been in the military, there's no military in my family, I'm very military. I'm very militant. Like, don't do things without a purpose. Everything has a place. Everything should be organized. In an emergency, you should be able to pack a bag in 5 minutes. I can go on, but I won't. So things in 3D are really, really super, super crazy. Like, I don't even want to get on the highway right now. On the other end of that, on the other spectrum of polarity, if you will, I've had some mind-blowing conversations with people on the street and people in the stores, things that are personal that I probably shouldn't share. But anyway, some people are super open and super relaxed, and they feel super at ease with the plug of the matrix being gone, even if they have no idea what I'm talking about or what that means. And other people are absolutely, totally losing their shit. I'm sure I'm not the only one experiencing this right now. So it's very interesting. The other thing that's very interesting, and I don't know if you guys know this, but I follow maybe 4, 5, sometimes 6 people on YouTube, and there are about maybe 4, 5, or 6 people at most that I have any kind of regular communication with in real life. What I've started noticing lately is an echo. And in all of that, with every person that I'm dealing with, whether that is someone on YouTube that doesn't know me, or whether that's my friend in Colorado who knows me very well. So in the morning, let's say I get up, I'm having a coffee, I'm doing a little tarot spread. I may turn something on, and that person has not only pulled the same card, but they're saying the same thing as I'm writing down what my description is of what I pulled for myself in my energy this morning. Some other tarot reader is telling me the same thing, even if it's not the same card, and usually it is. That person is telling me the same thing that I'm writing down as she's saying it. And it's really weird. I'll go back and read it when I'm done writing it, because it's kind of channeled, right? When I'm doing my own tarot cards, I write it down just like I'm doing tarot cards for you guys. I do it the exact same way. I pull them, I close my eyes, and I start automatic writing. And it's so interesting that this is happening. Or when I'm on the phone and I start to tell someone something, they're telling me the same thing, or they're having that same thing, where the few people that they watch or follow are expressing, experiencing, and narrating the same thing they're narrating while they're going through it. So it's super, super interesting what's going on. I have a really quiet household and a very quiet life, so I probably pay attention to these things more than the average bear out there, for sure. So there's this magnetism, and this is kind of going to be a carryover for the last two videos. The first one was the divine masculine / devil energy that he was in, that you and I are in, that we're all in, that's bleeding through back and forth between the masculine and feminine, not body specifically, but masculine and feminine energy, right? So we're talking about tempering yourself, about pouring your own internal energy with your body, mind, and soul connection, your higher self, your spirit, all of that. You're pouring a cup back and forth in your own energy field. You're also doing that with everything and everyone that you come in contact with. The closer you are to that person, physically, mentally, spiritually, sensually, whatever, all of those things, the more of a resonation you're going to share with that person. So then that means you're tempering or pouring an energy back and forth between you, yourself, and I, right? As in me, body, mind, and spirit, but also dealing with that other person, body, mind, and spirit. You're pouring back and forth an energy between that. And the masculine, feminine energy itself, not the body as a form, but the masculine, feminine energy as it's relating, as we're relating to ourselves and other people. I know I can talk. I can. Sometimes I just have to remind myself to slow down. It's not a race, Tina, right? So that energy we're sharing with other people. So if you haven't watched those last two videos, definitely do, because this is the first time ever really that I've been channeling when I turn the camera on, where it's actually a continuation from what's going on energetically before. So the video from the first video was probably, well, it's the last, this video and the last two videos. So the devil energy was mostly at the masculine for all these things he's been saving for later, right? And long story short, if you haven't watched that, there's a real longing to go home. And it's a longing to go home to the divine feminine energy in his life, but it's also people, places, and things that are a resonant harmony or resonant frequency with him. So there's a real longing and a real magnetism for the masculine to find his home. And again, that's work, that's friends, that's mission, that's love, that's geographical locations. It's all of it. So now, as an extended part of what has been going on for the last two, I'll share with you how this longing is affecting people. Now, I will tell you, if I hadn't known this man for the past 6 years, I would have been a little bit standoffish and also freaked out about what was occurring to me the other day. So the devil energy has morphed from the masculine. It's morphed into the feminine energy, which has become obsessive because she's seen this homecoming, if you will, for so long, and she's feeling it so strongly. The more the masculine energy thinks about it, feels it, wants it, needs it, longs it, pulled to it, magnetized to it, the more it comes through as a premonition or a vision or a feeling or any kind of clairaudience, clairsentience, all of those gifts across the board. When the divine masculine gets in that energy of longing, desiring, it bleeds through. So let me tell you how this is bleeding through now. It is affecting the divine masculine as a whole. Instead of my masculine calling and saying, this is how I feel about you, this is what I want with you, this is whatever, you get the point. Let me not go crazy overboard here, right? Scorpio is sensuality, probably doesn't need to come out in videos. I don't need any more of that kind of attention. But so this was not my divine masculine, but a divine masculine. This is a person I've known for 6 years. He has never looked at me like this, and he has never spoken to me like this. Now, first of all, I'll tell you, and his wife is probably watching, so hopefully she doesn't take any more offense to this than I did. It just was weird because I'd known him for 6 years, and he never looked at me like that. He never talked to me like that. Okay. So, and he's 90. Okay. His cognition is not perfect, but I had a t-shirt on, a yellow t-shirt, and across the chest, it said, Yellowstone Park. So I go into his room and I say, good morning. Can I get you some breakfast? And he looks at me and just smiles really big. And I said, good morning. Can I make you some breakfast? And he looks at my shirt where it says Yellowstone and says, yes, I'll have Yellowstone Park, please. Now, you guys, I was trying really hard not to laugh because, like I said, Yellowstone was written directly across my breast. Now, this is someone who I can't get to read a book or a magazine for the last 3 years because he's not at a place of cognition where he can do that. But you better believe that he was able to read my Yellowstone Park shirt and the establishment date just fine. So when I got him off the fact that he wanted to order Yellowstone for breakfast instead of eggs or soup or whatever his other options were, he was looking at my face like the love of my life. And again, to his wife that I know will be watching this video, it's nothing more than the divine masculine bleeding through the masculine collective, right? So I talked to my friend Judy, I talked to my friend Mary. They're both experiencing the same kind of behavior from strangers in public places who are not their divine masculines. The three of us are not in contact with our divine masculine counterpart, just so you're aware of that. Okay. So that divine masculine counterpart energy is bleeding through from our counterparts in our field. Because as I said, I know this sounds weird to explain, but anything that's in my field can be felt by anybody that I'm next to in the grocery store. Now, depending on how empathic or psychic or, clairaudient they might be, to what degree they're going to hear my thoughts, or read my vibe or read anyone in my field. But because that devil energy has morphed 3 times or 4 times over the past, I would say probably it's been about exactly a week now. What's happening now is my divine masculine's longing, desire, is bleeding through into my physical reality so strongly that it's present within my auric field. And any man that I come in contact with is looking at me like I'm the love of his life. Now, guys, this has nothing to do with how I look because, I'm 51 years old and I've never had anybody look at me the way these complete strangers are looking at me, talking to me, acting towards me. And that has been the experience of both of my other girlfriends that I talk to as well. So that's why confirmation is a beautiful thing. You might think, well, this is really weird. This person is thinking about me so strongly. His energy is in my field, and every man that I meet picks up on that. And I know that's true because I will tell you that when I was talking to my divine masculine over Facebook Messenger, when I was talking to him, I was constantly getting messaged by other men. You guys, it's, I know it sounds, really nuts and really out there, but when you have that magnetic dynamic within two people, it doesn't matter what sex they're in, that has nothing to do with it. But when two people share that kind of magnetism, even if it's being exchanged on Facebook or YouTube or through the internet, it doesn't matter. When I was speaking to my divine masculine just through Facebook Messenger, I was getting messaged by people and getting hit on everywhere I went. When I stopped talking to that person, I stopped getting hit on by other people through Messenger. That's something that I noticed. So it goes back and forth. You guys know how this works, the magnetism thing and the pushing and the pulling, and us working on our spiritual journey, and how sometimes we're talking, sometimes we're not. So I've had more than talking, not talking times to notice the pattern in this. And also, it cannot, it's not limited to only your divine masculine too. If you're having a really great time and feel connected to your mom or your girlfriend or your kids, whoever you're talking with, that magnetic energy is pulling in the divine masculine like you wouldn't believe. Now, part of that is just because you're beautiful and you're on this incredible journey that's very beautiful and it's very magnetic, and you're drawing that to you. The other part of that is that there's such a group of masculine energy that was not in a place in their life where they were choosing what they really wanted to choose, which just makes that energy stronger, right? Sometimes we think, I can't have that job, or I can't have that person, or I can't move to Hawaii, whatever it is, right? So you cut yourself off from that, whether it's cutting yourself off from physically talking to that person, or maybe you've cut yourself off from looking at pictures of Hawaii, whatever it is. Sometimes we decide to make a decision that we should cut our energy off from a person, place, or thing. The thing about that is, when that desire is so strong, if you cut yourself off from that person, that place, that thing, those images of Hawaii, your lover, whatever it is for you, it just magnifies and becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And that is what actually flipped this devil energy over, this obsession, this longing, this desire. That's what's flipped it over. So what I'm saying to you, and if you haven't experienced this, and it doesn't matter, guys, if you're single, you already are in the relationship with that person, you're not talking to that person, you're married, it doesn't matter. The magnetism of the masculine energy, starting to choose, making a plan to choose, already have chosen, now making a plan on how he's going to enact it, has put a huge dump of energy, like as a computer system or as a cellular system. Sometimes we get data dumps. This would be the same thing, but the divine masculine has put a huge amount of desire, a huge amount of energy, a huge amount of making a change, making a plan. So many masculines get into that energy or make that decision. And what that does is that pushes a huge burst of energy into the collective, right? So whether you're single, you're married, divorced, doesn't matter. Especially if, and it's both, okay, it's masculine and feminine energy right now. But for the divine feminine, it's actually a lot stronger right now, because it's the masculine energy that has made this massive, massive change and dumped this massive amount of energy in the collective, which is beautiful. But I'm just telling you, I have never ever had someone look at me like I was literally a snack or eye candy or something. So it's really funny. It's hilarious. Yeah, so all that masculine energy, all that desire, all that connection, it's magnetic, right? So male and female, we are electric. We are within ourselves, we're electromagnetic, okay? We are a biosphere of electromagnetic energy. But when it comes to the divine masculine feminine connection, the masculine is electric, the feminine is magnetic. So, whatever that desire is, whoever's watching, whatever you've done, whatever plan you've made, whatever your choice has been, or your decision has been, or whatever you're enacting or thinking about enacting, to the point that that devil energy has flipped over to more of an angelic template of, here I am in my beautiful life, I know what I want, and I'm going after it. That has shifted the collective consciousness to the point that every female in the grocery store or in Walmart or walking down the street is getting whistled at and looked at like delicious eye candy. Okay. The higher the vibration, I'm not telling you, like always, that this is going to be happening to every person on the street. If you're maybe people that are just not experiencing anything above the 3D probably aren't experiencing this. Having said that, the higher frequency that you dip in and out of, right? Because Tina's not 5D all the time and then floating up to 70. We're constant. Our body's auric field is in a constant state of fluctuation, 3D, 4D, 5D, 12D, all of it. Okay. You'll know the higher the fluctuation, the higher your magnetism is right now. And the higher your vibration, the higher your rate of magnetism, the faster you're pulling in people, places, and things into your life. That's why any good person who coaches on twin flames or does tarot readings or does like divine masculine feminine check-ins will always, always, always tell you the only way you manifest that relationship into physical reality is by being on your own journey and being in unstoppable, unbreakable, lovable magnetic energy. That's what pulls everything that is your birthright into your field. So what that means is the higher vibration that you're dipping into in and out of every day, all day long, the more you're magnetizing, the more people will be experiencing the things that I'm talking about. Right now, what I'm talking about is being serious eye candy, okay? And so the higher of a frequency you're in, the more the masculine is going to look at you like your eye candy. And it may have something to do, partially to do with your physical experience, but mostly it is the high frequency wave that's in the field of your body that's doing it to them. Like I said, if this was someone I had just met and I had this experience, I would say, okay, this is weird. I don't know this guy. Why are they trying to, you know, looking at me that way or wanting to order my shirt for breakfast? Okay. Those were his words. So I would be pretty taken aback by that if that hadn't been someone I knew. But things things always happen to us individually based on what is the easiest way for us to understand them. So if that had happened with a complete stranger, I would have taken it differently. Because this man has never talked to me that way and never looked at me that way, I was able to discern within a matter of minutes what was actually going on. Otherwise, I don't think I would have known. I would have just chalked it up as someone being really, really, really attracted to me. Okay. But anyways, so on to that. Our magnetism is increasing, and this is for the divine feminine and divine masculine, both. Our whole body, as I said, is a biosphere of electromagnetic energy. The more energy we get, the more downloads, the more of everything that we get from this reality, the more magnetic we become. And the reason I want you to know that is because the more magnetic you become, the less time and space you're going to experience, even when you're in 3D reality. So driving your car, doing laundry, whatever it is. the higher the state you're in, the more you're a magnet to everything, people, places, and things that are your calling. And also, the more you dip into those higher frequencies, the faster time is going to appear to go to you. It could be speeding up, it could be slowing down, depending on your thoughts. And we're already, as you know, transitioning out of 3D. So we're already experiencing the loss of time and the loss of space, and all the things that are only specifically space and time are only specifically to 3D, right? So we're losing those anyway. But the higher the frequency, the more you're falling out of time and the more you're falling out of space. Now, the time space thing has been interesting. The few people that I talk to can't seem to even keep up with the date or the month, even though they can tell you what every single speck of existence in their spiritual journey right now. They can't tell you what day of the week it is. And that's because that higher vibration pulls you out of space time. Being highly magnetized, male or female energy, again, it doesn't matter. The thing about that is our memory is magnetic. So when we have solar events, when we have energetic events that come through the portal of the sun, central sun, grand central sun, all of that. The reason why we can't remember what we're doing from one room to the next or one day to the next, what time is it, what day is it, is because the magnetism that comes in with those storms puts a pause on your memory, your short-term memory, not your long-term memory, but your short-term memory. So a lot of people, I've worked for a lot of people when I was landscaping, and people in their 60s and 70s were really embarrassed to tell me to try to make a schedule because they didn't know what day it was. And I told them, hey, everybody's going through that. It doesn't matter if you're 20 or 30 or 40, everybody's having a hard time keeping up with time. So a couple things are going on in regards to this. One, since we're having so many magnetic storms or geomagnetic storms, the memory goes on pause. The reason is your memory in the brain is stored and is run by 100% magnetism and nothing else. I find that absolutely fascinating. So your brain is run on 100% magnetism, meaning if you're a person that feels the storm when it happens, guess what? When you start hearing it, your memory is going to go. Again, your short-term memory. It's going to come back, as you guys know. We've been experiencing this for many years. But your memory is electromagnetic, okay? There's a honk for confirmation. It happens in every video now. I must have ordered that. So the thing about this that we want to be aware is that our thoughts are magnetic, and so is our memory. Our thoughts have always been magnetic, and our memory has always been magnetic, but we haven't always been going through the ascension process as a consciousness, as a united humanity. And also, we have not had these kind of storms in this particular cycle that we're going through now. So if you're having memory issues, do not worry, do not be consumed or obsessed with ginkgo, whatever it's called, or taking things for your memory, because I've talked to many people that are doing this. It's the storms and it's ascension that's working this little magical trick on your short-term memory loss. So the magnetism of our thoughts has amplified to the point that we're not only losing track of 3D space and time, there's a multitude of other things happening to you and to me as well. The time is speeding up or slowing down, depending on your thoughts, right? The space is slowing down or speeding up, depending on your thoughts. But here's the other thing. Even though our thoughts and even though our memories have always been magnetic, with these storms and with the ascension process, it's highly magnetized. Now, what does that mean? That means your thoughts are creating your reality. Now, all of you guys are already to the point where you're well aware that your thoughts are creating your reality. But this means when you're bumping and jumping and jiving up and down between different multidimensional aspects within your physical body, and you're losing touch with that 3D space and time, and you're becoming super magnetized. All of these things are a giant recipe for instant manifestation. And I hope Mary doesn't mind me talking about this, and her beautiful dog, Blue. Mary, we've never met in person. She's very far away. She lives in Colorado. She's been living in Colorado for 3 years, and she's had this dog, Blue, I believe, for the last 3 years, to the best of my knowledge. So yesterday, a couple of days ago, she had left her car unlocked. So when she discovered she had left her car unlocked the previous day, she thought, oh shit, I wonder if anyone got in it, looked around, took anything, whatever. So then she comes back in the house. It doesn't look like anybody took anything. They left the glove box open. Probably wasn't anything they wanted. But what did happen was that made her question directly after that incident to question, I wonder if my dog Blue would protect me if there was an intruder. Second honk for second confirmation. Let's see if we can go for round 3. Ding, 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 ding. So anyway, she says to me on the phone with her, and she said, I wonder if like a stranger or an intruder came up, if my dog was actually going to alert me, was actually going to protect me, or actually, what's the dog going to do? Within a couple hours, guys, the mailman showed up and the dog attacked the mailman. And I said to her, do you remember just a couple hours ago, you said, I wonder what my dog is going to do when he experiences a stranger. Is he going to protect me? So the thoughts are magnetic. We're losing space and time due to magneticism of our ascension process, of these solar activities and everything else that's going on. Okay, so our reality is speeding up, and like I said, perfect recipe for instant manifestation. And I've noticed this so many countless times. I don't think you guys need all of my boring examples, okay? But I'm saying this because we really watch what we're thinking, okay? We should be watching what we're thinking and even what we're feeling, because even if you're not at the point of instant manifestation, I guarantee that you're noticing that manifestation has definitely sped up for you. Now, when I say instant manifestation, I don't say, okay, higher self, put $10,000 on the table and it's there. That's instant, right? But it's close enough to instant for us as a human race to say that it's instant. So when you're talking an hour or two, you're talking instant. So whatever your repeated thoughts are, this is why I've been doing the Joe Dispenza meditation every day, pretty much like clockwork. Whatever your thoughts are and your feelings about those thoughts, they are driving your connectedness to the unlimited potential of the quantum field. Watch your thoughts. Also, if you know there's something you want to change about your thoughts or about your life, you can write it down. As you can see, there's a giant note right here behind my head. And there's several notes in a multitude of places around in my house, right at eye level. One is almost covering my face in the bathroom mirror. So that's because I am working on my inner magic, body, mind, and spirit magic. We've all been working on this for a long time. When you know it's instant, that's your cue, right, from higher self. Get it in gear. Give yourself notes or reminders, whatever you need to do, so that you're not dwelling in. So we're all going to have negative thoughts, right? Negative thoughts pop up, and don't think, oh well, gosh, I'm not going to sin because I'm having negative thoughts, or I'm never going to meet the love of my life because I had a negative thought about this person, right? It's not that. We're talking about your predominant thoughts and your predominant feelings. If I say something or even see something in my mind's eye or have a thought that I don't like, I just say cancel, clear, delete. And I know a couple other people, you guys, that do that as well. So it's important. It's really important. At this stage, we are so incredibly magnetic with our thoughts and our feelings, that we want to pay attention to it. high time for manifestation if you know there's something that you want. I highly, highly, highly recommend Joe Dispenza's meditation. It's called Meditation for Abundance, which is not what I was looking for. I was looking for healing meditation. And I thought, well, it popped up in my feed. I've never watched anything from him before. It must have shown up for a reason. And oh my God, it showed up for a reason. And his idea of manifesting abundance is not directed at money or anything. It's directed at everything that brings happiness and joy to the cells of your body and to your physical life. So I highly recommend it. He's got a lot of them. It's called Meditation for Abundance by Joe Dispenza. It's 42 minutes and 22 seconds long, I'm pretty sure. It's the 42-minute one. I'm telling you that because there are so many of them that are out there. And so, beautiful energy. I always say I don't like to make a long video, but what's interesting is there's no seem to be rhyme or reason. I feel like you guys will want a shorter video, so I make a shorter video, and there's like so many less people on the shorter videos than the longer videos that I'm just gonna not even, my time and space is erasing for me, and why I'm being partially resistant is what I'm saying to you. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue. Okay. So, there's a couple of energies out there that I want to talk about. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. That's the second video in a row. And here I talk to you and tell you I'm militant, right, in my personality. And it's the second video in a row that I came in here with no water. So obviously I'm not that militant, right? So the first energy that I want you to be aware of is the tower energy. The tower energy talks about a lot of things, but for you on this wave of this magnetic frequency right now, what the tower means to you is that you are going to be magnetizing and pulling things in at an accelerated rate that might even be unbelievable to your body, mind, and spirit connection. So what does that mean for you? That means all of a sudden you may, and I don't want to put a negative spin on this because I don't see this as negative. However, this can come through in a multitude of ways, right? So the energy of the tower is very fast moving energy. It's an energy that rips away anything from your life that's not built on a solid foundation. Those are the two most important things for you to know about the tower card and the tarot, okay? What else I'm going to tell you is solely coming from my intuition. You may lose a job or lose a spouse or lose a car or have some kind of massive change coming to you in the next couple of weeks. This energy is going all the way through the end of the year. But the next couple of weeks is going to be super strong, especially up to Mercury retrograde, okay? And the next video is actually going to be about Mercury retrograde specifically, what it really is. So this tower energy means something not built on a solid foundation. People, places, and things in your life are going to change very suddenly, okay? Instantly. Like you could be out walking in beautiful sunshine and then the next thing you know it, there's lightning and you're running for the car or running for your apartment. In my case, this happened to me several times. That's what this tower energy is like. It's very sped up. It has a lot of momentum, and don't be afraid of this energy. Okay. So it's removing things that are out of alignment for you. So it's not a fear thing. We're talking very sudden and for some very drastic changes. Now this could be a drastic change in your awareness too. It doesn't have to be, I'm not saying, you're losing your job. I'm saying if you are a person who's been in the same job for 22 years and you hate it, you literally experience physical symptoms while you're at work, yes, there's a really good chance within the next month or so you're going to lose your job, okay? Whatever it is in your life that fundamentally and energetically, vibrationally does not match where you currently are, and your trajectory is going to be removed. Now, for a lot of us, it's simply going to be like poverty mindset or how we view relationships, things like that. Because when we're talking about removing something that's not built on a solid foundation, we're also talking about our thought forms, our religious beliefs, or anything like that. But I see a very fast, very sped up energy, lightning energy of things happening out of the blue. And now, when we talk about things happening out of the blue, we're not just talking about negativity. We're talking about positive things too. Okay, somebody may call you and offer you the absolute dream job out of the blue. Maybe you applied for the dream job 2 years ago and you didn't get it. They picked someone else, but they saved your resume and now they're calling you. Okay, maybe that person you've always been in love with is going to call you or show up at your house. I don't know what it's going to be for you. What I'm saying is it's revolutionary, it's fast, and it's very, very, very unexpected. So take a deep breath, stay calm, stay positive, and know when that person calls about a job or that person shows up at your door, whatever it is, that beautiful energy is there because that person, place, or thing, that job, whatever it is the highest trajectory of your energetic field and the trajectory of where you are going in the next couple of months, and most certainly before the end of this year. Going right into that, I want to talk about the high priestess of the tarot. We need to be balancing in our intuition. A lot of times, because of 3D things or 3D restraints or 3D, I feel like I have to do something or I feel like I'm obligated to do something, we let that override our intuition. The reason why I'm speaking about the high priestess is because knowing this catalyst energy is coming in to bring you people, places, and things, or remove people, places, and things at a lightning speed out of the blue and very surprisingly unknown to you, is you're going to have to use your intuition. And if you've had a job for 20 years that you hate and it makes you physically sick to go to work and you get fired, I'm pretty sure that you're going to understand in one instant why that's happening to you. But there will be some things that you may not understand initially when they happen to you. But it is clearing things that are not a vibrational match and clearing things that are not a workable, solid foundation for the future energy that you're moving into in the next couple weeks, most especially, but up until the end of the year. The high priestess, it's really important for you to be in, doesn't matter if you're male or female, the high priestess is a balanced masculine, feminine energy of using your intuition to receive and using your intuition also to project what you want. Okay, the high priestess is not someone who tells you what their plan is. Okay, the high priestess is not like me. The high priestess has an absolute zipped lip. That's what I want you to know. She could know everything in the Akashic record. If she's standing in front of you, she is not going to tell you that. So out of the blue, catalyst energy, very quick like lightning, and using your intuition, which is your balanced masculine and feminine energy of intuition. Because otherwise you're not going to be able to discern the very quick changes that are happening to you in your life. The other thing with the high priestess being right next to this tower energy is this. I'm going to say person, I always say person, place, and thing, but I'm not going to say that. Okay, so with this thing coming to you out of the blue, it can be all the things I've already said, but here's what I feel it is for the majority of you. You may be the one making this plan. You may be on the receiving end of this plan. High Priestess to the Tower. I am making a plan. I am using my intuition to change the aspects of my life that I know I have to change before this tower moment happens. So, this person, masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. What I'm saying to you, there is specifically someone who is planning something with you and not telling you, okay? The high priestess is using her intuition to navigate and change her life, and she's not speaking about it to anyone. The other thing, and this is the last thing, the ascension journey is about going home. Going home doesn't mean life is better on the other side when you pass over, when you are free, okay? When you, what do they say, the come to Jesus moment or whatever, you guys know I'm not, that's not my thing. But anyway, going home is not about relieving yourself of the physical restrictions or motivations or desires or 3D hindrances in your life. It's not our job to wait around to go to the other side, to experience what it is to be free, to be liberated, and to be loved unconditionally, not only by yourself, but the people in your life. Going home means going home. I'm going home to who I truly am. I'm being who I truly am to you guys in this video. I'm being who I truly am to people when I give readings. I'm being who I truly am when I'm talking to people in the grocery store. I'm being who I really am when my divine masculine shows up in my life. I'm being who I am. That means I'm being home to myself. And I want to be home to myself because that's the way I should be. But also, no one will ever be home or come home to you if you don't come home to yourself first. Be in the energy of home within yourself and be in the energy of being at home with other people. If you can't be at home with someone, that person is most likely going to be involved in your tower moment of the magician's disappearing act. That's all I'm going to say to you about that. Going home to yourself, going home to your the resonance of your soul. Okay, that's what I want, what makes me happy, what brings me joy, what is my desire. Going home with people, going where you're called. Okay, home is not your house. Home could be a van. Home could be a tree in the Yucatan. I don't know. Wherever you're being pulled to, people and places, that's home for you. That's what this is leading to. The tower is only here to, as a spiritual gift to you, to eliminate the things that are out of 3D alignment so that you can use your intuition to make the plan to go towards those dreams, or use your intuition, in my case, to know that you are a part of someone else's dream, and that person is making a plan to come towards you, and that plan is to go home. Go home to love, go home to home, go home to self. There's a lot of movement of all these energies that I've been talking about and all these subjects that I've been talking about here tonight. The only thing that is slow and calm and peaceful that I've talked about is going home to yourself, going home to that other person, and realizing you are part of that person's plan, or you're making that plan to go towards that person. This is a beautiful yet crazy time. I will say thank you to my couple of girlfriends who keep me sane on a daily basis when I am surrounded with people's names, date of birth, star signs, north and south nodes, initials, and everything else. And from a person who has no part in my current 3D reality, but is in my field, and I'm constantly surrounded by information and messages. So thank you, thank you, thank you to those women. You know who you are. They're experiencing the exact same thing. We're here for each other. It's a very beautiful thing. I love you. And as always, thank you for being here. I have posted a couple of videos on Facebook. I also posted a picture of myself on Facebook about the health webinar. I don't know if people have watched it. I made a short kind of like sneak peek or kind of trailer for the video just to give you guys the information, but a lot of people are reaching out and I guess they haven't seen the trailer. So I don't understand the algorithm of technology. I'm not going to pretend for a second if I do. Two things I want you to know. That video was made on this YouTube platform and it is unlisted. Due to my limited tech capabilities until the love of my life shows up with his tech skills, it is what it is and I'm doing what I can. It was way too important for me to wait to do it any longer. So I did it a couple of days ago. So it is done on this platform. It's an unlisted link. If you want it, you have to ask me and I will send it to you. Also, I said anyone who's donated to me in the last 30 days, and I've said this in 3 different places now, but people are still, I guess there's still not a full awareness of it. So if you are some beautiful person that has donated to my channel in the last 30 days or whenever, okay, I'm going to send you that link for free, but please, 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 beautiful people, don't assume that I'm going to know, okay? Some of you, yes, I do remember, for sure, but here's the thing. Back to my tech savviness again. With PayPal, when you send me money through PayPal, the only record of it I have is if you send a note with it. So people that donated to my channel in the last 30 days, it sent me a lovely little love note. Thank you very much. Then I was able to go through that and I know who those people are. If you have donated and I haven't sent you the video, it's because 7-7. I don't know that you want it or I don't have record of your donation. So if you have, if you want that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm doing it through PayPal. If you want to send that through snail mail, which is what I'm calling it, because my last check took 14 days to get here from 2 states away. So know that as well. You can send a check or cash or whatever through the mail, but no, it's taking 2 to 6 weeks to get mail in the United States, which is a little bit insane. Yet I am getting junk mail every day, so go figure. Anyway, you're welcome to do that as well. Reach out to me through Messenger, comment on my videos, or send PayPal. The video is $38.88. It is jam-packed with, you're gonna love it, 2 hours and 34 minutes and 01 seconds, 23401. So it's 2 hours and 34 minutes long and jam-packed full of information. If you've made a donation and I haven't sent it to you, please reach out to me and tell me that you want it. If you want it and you haven't donated, you just want to purchase the unlisted video, reach out to me through the normal ways that you guys reach out to me, and I will be happy to send that link to you. I love you very much. This energy is intense. It's very interesting to have people look at you like eye candy. As I mentioned, that's never happened to me before. I'm seriously, seriously sweating right now, in case you can't see that. Get up close and personal. So I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.